before we head over to maintenance, where there are some like official missions waiting, we're just going to explore, re-explore even the rest of Executive. Have a look in pneumatics, just see if there are any other new quests knocking around. Oh. And we've already been ambushed. Right, so there's pneumatics. I do remember going in here much earlier in the game. I think there was an altered item in here. Oh, this... wait, isn't this... This looks like where the furnace was, but I don't think it is. Obviously the furnace is in maintenance. Yeah, I remember coming in here. Guess all the mail kind of centers here, maybe? Oh, hello. Is this going to make enemies spawn? House memory. Oh, right, case files. The Havana Supplement, AWE number 48. Bureau medical staff personally evaluated the injured embassy personnel when they arrived back in the country. While the victims reported cognitive issues, dizziness and fatigue, further testing by Bureau medics found intense cell damage similar to that of radiation exposure. Agents and research staff remained to take soil samples from the surrounding area but found no trace of a redacted, beyond the health issues of the staff. The communications department disseminated a story of foreign powers using double redacted on the embassy staff, resulting in various health issues that required the embassy to be evacuated. The story successfully took hold, gaining brief international attention. Caused some injuries there. Recording check. GPU's not on fire. Good, good, good. We need to do some of them at some point, but I'm not massively bothered. Right, we'll have a look in the mail room. Still bodies floating everywhere. That looks like a body in a sack. Obviously it's post, or mail, sorry. I actually think this game does really suit just having like a wandering philosophy. Maybe the main story should have spent more time with us without having a central hub. It does feel like that hub in Central Executive came around quite quick. Tomasi, oh god. Willow AWE outcome. Re-information campaign summary of the Willow AWE. National news sites have begun publishing the story of the polar bear attack on the Alaskan town. You all know I don't like to boast, but claiming that the family was killed by migrating polar bears desperate for food because their ecosystem is being ruined by global warming was a stroke of genius. Using current ecological concerns makes the public much less likely to redact it. So, another AWE behind us and the public is none the wiser. Well done everyone. It was a strong campaign and perfectly executed. This doesn't mean we can stop monitoring redacted for any off-message opinions, but it looks like we're in the clear. Tomasi out. Tomasi. All these poor people. Yeah, I remember coming here. Yeah, it's where we lost to Massey the first time. Oh, you son of a bitch. Show yourself. Jesus. There's someone left, the music's not stopped. Nice work. That's pretty much it, right? Once we loop through here, we end up by the hotline chamber. This is where we heard the Tomasi recording. He floated up through there. Alright, I guess we're going to maintenance then. There we go. So I have no idea which missions are DLC and what isn't. So let's have a little look. We could try the anchor again. Langston's Runaways will be interesting, so that's in Containment. The old friends are just, I guess, little boss missions, but maybe Arish will tell us some stories afterwards. Clearing the mold, the what a mess stuff, I guess it's just recycled stuff. I don't know, the talk to the plants thing's interesting, but I guess the clog and the mold will just be sort of enemy-based stuff. A dark place, the sector elevator. I don't know where that is necessarily. And then Foundation. I guess we'll head to maintenance. Well, let's just tag a dark place. And it's saying we need to fast travel. Right, so where is this mission? It's not in maintenance. Not in research. I think that there are some other departments. Investigate the sector elevator. Does that just mean... oh, this. Alright, fine.
Darkness engulfed the elevator.
Oh!
There was something there. Reaching for her. Trying to make her act. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man. A hunger in the dark. Investigation sector.
Investigation sector, huh? We should
Right.
check this out.
So that's clearly the Alan Wake DLC. So the question is, do I go for the Foundation or a dark place? I mean, I would guess that these are both DLCs, but let's just go to the Alan Wake stuff, I guess. Right, investigation sector. Let's see. Casper Darling masquerading as Alan Wake. Excuse me. Right, so this is the map. It is pretty big, so we're going to have to cross some bridges, it looks like. Wow, okay. I'm guessing they might reuse the enemies in a
Hello?
in sort of hiss-like
Anyone
form.
here? Guess not.
I'm always hopeful of a more atmospheric, less throw enemies at me style DLC, but if it's anything like the Alan Wake DLC in Alan Wake, then I might be banging my head against the wall.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the Bureau.
I'm still really bitter about that Alan Wake DLC from Alan Wake. I can't believe how bad it was. They're just throwing enemies at me. Okay, in 2017, Mr. Kirkland. Here are the latest agents confirmed missing and presumed dead from the containment breach yesterday. Agent Jonathan Connor, researcher Ezra Cruz, Agent Caroline Dempsey, Agent Lindsay Malcolm, Agent Charles Murray, and Agent Derek Shah. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet. And the only hard copies of reports exist behind the fire break. They're lost, I'm afraid. The fire break. We got lots of little bits and bobs to read in here, so let's do that. A Darling investigation. Official findings report. Dr. Casper Darling, internal confidential. So maybe this is like internal affairs or something. Summary. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation D084-5 was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. So maybe this is meant to be a significant time post main story, but obviously we've not done a lot of exploring post game in the main areas yet. Despite the accounts of anonymous redacted regarding inhumane treatment of a redacted currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of redacted sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such redacted contained there. One redacted confirmed the redacted's code name to be redacted, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the redacted research wing, dimensional research I guess, to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into dimensional research, is what I'm guessing. Refer to the redacted file for the full report. So maybe this whole department is to do with Internal Affairs. It's making me want to watch The Departed. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm writing to let you know that we received a request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with the writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Special Investigator Gleason. So Alex Casey has come to life. Interesting. Right, the power seems to be sort of off in here. So how Jesse's reading all of this in here, I'll never know. There's a control point. A tractor supplement. A borough tractor. This communication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. William Burrow, male, Caucasian. Case summary: 33-year-old man found dead on his property per a police report. Remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents and bone fragments. Autopsy findings: blunt force injuries. Was this someone from Alan Wake? William Burrow. Does sound familiar. Blunt force injuries to the head, lacerations of the left ear and cheek, blunt force injuries to his extremities, dislocation of the right knee, complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus, extensive trauma to the abdominal region, complete avulsion of multiple organs including the stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, all missing from the scene. Conclusion: it is my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident as claimed by the authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with an animal attack. Correspondence, a resignation letter. Redacted of redacted 2019, to whom it may concern. It is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as Head of Investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's redacted authority, I guess. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame this situation on our redacted, who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the redacted loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that fire break. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The redacted has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. The director, I'm guessing. Sincerely, William Kirkland. So this whole sector is abandoned then. Would be the obvious thing. The fire break. We've got a button here. Let's not press it just yet. A staffing issue. Mr. Dennis, so yes, there's an increase of AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple maths. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filling the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. The lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff, but we put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and as Kirtland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. So Grayson has replaced Kirkland. Okay, Alan Wake enemies. This is gonna be painful, isn't it?
It's not working.
Can
Probably
I...
a loose power core somewhere.
Yes, thank you. I know how to fly. An ethics investigation. Official findings report the Prime Candidate Program and other internal. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigations P-142-9 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program, redacted by the Federal Bureau of Control. Interesting. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic redacted and redacted were brought into the oldest house and placed under redacted examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. Children. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic, redacted of paranaturally inclined Dylan. People, I guess. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human rights, I guess. This investigation team unequivocally redacted the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be redacted immediately. Yeah, obviously. Way to state the obvious, Bob. Imprisoning children and experimenting on them's bad. Who would have thought? Right. The Bureau Tractor. This again. Items not in Bureau custody, none known. Description, altered effect. A Frank Elk tractor in olive green, dried blood on the grill when last seen. Is that a rhyme? Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls and unmanned locomotion, considered highly aggressive and dangerous. Is this the tractor we had to fight in Alan Wake? Oh, I'm just getting PTSD off this whole thing. Because, you know, I mean, the combat in Alan Wake wasn't great, was it? It was very much something you tolerated to just get to the sweet story and atmosphere. Background. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Burrow Farm outside Trenton, Texas. Alright, it's not Alan Wake. Local authorities arrived on the scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived, but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communications staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear, quote, end quote. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mrs. Burrow, only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier in the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. Okay, we haven't got a battery to slot in here. I hear you, camera. Wow, lots of reports here, Jesus. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams, like you suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the ordinary case, but that was just the adults, if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenan. Excuse me. Right. Do I need to move this battery? Probably. Yay, more loot. Huh. That is the Thomas Zane helmet, right? Is it? I'm not sure. No, his was a diver's one, right? It wasn't a space helmet? I'm not sure. Certificate of Recognition. Significant of achievement for years of service to the Bureau. Trench. Official warning. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen, holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures, plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachariah Trench, Director of the Bureau. This must have been after he was taken by the hiss. That sounds awfully aggressive. God, look at all of these, man. Director Investigation. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, Redacted was launched into the Redacted of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in behaviour, I guess, witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive behaviour when redacted with other staff has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable redacted between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff, although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter. Witness accounts suggest their arguments centre around the Dimensional Research Wing and the redacted kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's redacted as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behaviour is not indicative of any redacted and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Awful report. Underhill. We could go and talk to her again, I guess. Official findings. Dr. Rhea Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the UK, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organisations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behaviour has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. Jesus. Well, yeah, workplace relationships, man. Always complicated. Always. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position, with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Let's just check the stairwell. So that's like 15 reports. Make that 60. Great, now I don't know what that was. Oh, what? Lamile lumps, holiday humps, the sauna is warm, the beer is cold, and the kosu is in the ice. I'm the director of the FBC, Jesse Pate. Cauldron Lake update to Chief Investigator Dennis. It happened again, third time this year. Something certainly has it out for redacted. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough, but why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a Bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of recurring problems is the staff at the Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on redacted lake? They won't let me see any data. Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their info with the investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this redacted hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. Sincerely, Agent Estevez. Okay, so they really wanted to flesh things out there. I guess that's sort of like the movie equivalent of like a extremely long monologue. So I imagine we just pinch the battery from this side.
Now that gate should open.
No jump scares, please. Specimen Escape Assessment. The purpose of internal investigation X-039-7 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI-1 that resulted in the deaths of redacted number of agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. On the redacted of redacted, the specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive behavior. Cross-referencing that date with the various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. The air filters were changed, and 2, an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice, redacted Alice Wake. Wait, I don't know, were they actually married? Anyway, entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. See this interview. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it is likely that Mrs. Wake's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape, and the redacted investigation is ongoing. Maybe the clicker, the light switch? We have heard mention of that already. Oh, I love these orange light sections. Blade. Oh, we've got... okay. That's all we've explored in half an hour. Thank you, whatever remains of Polaris.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Yeah, thanks for that, Jesse. Well done. Detective Jesse. Blessed or Blessed Organization. The Blessed Organization. This group / individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed organization. Interesting. So they don't necessarily sound like criminals, but they may be investigating things. And they don't want to be connected to a federal body. Interesting. 1, 2,
Do we know each other?
3.
This feels familiar.
Really?
I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake. Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane.
Really?
There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink.
Artie.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
We're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Riding?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen him.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That will have made no sense to you, Jesse.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here?
Trying to write his way out.
Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
Me too. I don't like the sounds of this. Shut up. Please don't jump scare me, man. It's already making it seem like the light and dark stuff from Alan Wake is going to maybe be a factor, but...
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came, a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Hartman might be a monster or something present in the story here. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything behind us should be the same. I'm gonna have to float our way over, it seems. Oh, really? Let's just have a look over here. Obviously the door's broken. Okay, just things this size. I remember in Mass Effect Andromeda, just the scale of some of the architecture. You know, it has that sort of, you know, Pyramids of Egypt feel where it just has these sort of stones that are cut to a size that is so unfathomable and impossible. I should have thought this through. Hi! See ya! Oh, God. Poor guy. I can hear the drums in the background. We look very official, like we're here on official business. Although I think this outfit would look nicer with the shirt tucked in, Jesse. I think it would. Hiss? Really?
Creepy, damp, and abandoned.
Yeah.
Why did Wake want me to come here?
To help him, Jesse. Nothing in here. Another control point. Okay, the fabric of reality is falling apart. Shaded facets. Alright, that's not good. I'm gonna hide in the bathroom now. Excuse me.
That doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know?
No. Doesn't look like it. I'm waiting for an ambush in one of these, man. So there's hiss here? I mean, fair enough. Okay, so something very strange is, well, even more strange than usual is going on. How's it, bro? Cheeky bastard. How's about this for a flank, buddy boy? Flank me. How dare you? Right, there's a projector. Immediate anxiety. Control parameters. Right, where did we come in from? The fire break. Fair enough.
Whoa. Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
Yeah, you can say that again. A service tunnel. I guess this is the way we go through. Anyway. Well, we can try and go through the weird way. It looks kind of blocked off, though. The Hartman arrest. Interesting. Official arrest report. Offenders: Emil Hartman. Victim names: Alan Wake, Tor Anderson, Odin Anderson. Redacted: Rudolph Lane, Wendy Desolé, and Thomas Emerson, and another redacted. Officer name: Special Agent Remy Dennis. Charges: Code 4, kidnapping of altered individuals. Code 8, sanctions against altered organizations. Code 37, obstruction of Bureau investigation. And Code 74, breaching of the Ash Act. On 6 counts. Additional notes: offenders' property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing AWE investigation. Offenders' personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each except the Anderson brothers due to their senility. I know it's senility. And Wake, possibly deceased. Yeah, so I don't think we can climb through here. Oh, there's some loot. Shield kills, reload. Efficiency. Alright, let's make our way through the service tunnel, which I'm sure will be friendly and peaceful. But gossip. Hello. My feet gossip at night, and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me! What the hell?
This darkness is blocking the door.
No!
So now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows.
The darkness. Great. The goo is back. I don't have a powerful light source. Is there some sort of light back here I can pick up, maybe? Great. Alan Wake mechanics. Stupid goo. Make me do backtracking.
Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
Oh my days. What? Jimmy, what happened to you, mate? Mold. You stay there. We can go in these now, I think. Yep. Burst them all. I don't know if I need to do this to clear it, but... maybe I don't need to do anything. But if you put something poppable in the room, I imagine it needs to be popped. Otherwise, why put it there? Shooter dodge efficiency. Is that it? Stupid darkness. I will walk around the whole DLC with this torch. Okay, guess not. The hiss got it. Hartman. Subtitles spoiling the reveal. Getting lots of checkpoints. I guess these levels are quite closed off, I suppose. More goo, there's a torch here. Ops, this is where we would have come through anyway.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Phaeton.
Don't like that at all, Alan. Let that torch go. Right, we need to equip a power source. Don't grow back. Oh shit, the bed, man. Let's just go through the door of goo while we've still got this. I need to put this down, this is ridiculous. Hello there. Now this might make some enemies spawn or something. I wanted to put it in the other one, to be honest. Look at the lighting in there, man. Big wow. Right, let's have another little read in here. Eagle Limited Summary. An event summary of Eagle Limited, AWE number 44. A train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been the work of a paracriminal group known as Redacted. As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of sabotage. Event response. The Bureau had been tracking said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, a response team on site was able to respond to the train accident site within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find emergency processes underway, but also equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies. Bloomington. The Shadow. Examination of paranatural entities. The Shadow. Summary. Paranatural entity A-010, aka the Shadow, is an aggressive redacted consisting of 3 known types. Type A. Localized manifestations of sentient redacted capable of occupying organic and inorganic material as well as exerting redacted over its surroundings. Type B. Shaded individuals, human bodies redacted by the Shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive, but do seem to retain redacted of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. Type C. Shaded objects, my nemesis. Similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are redacted solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work toward a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals, see AWE 35, which may imply a shared link to a redacted intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of offensive/defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of a redacted.
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry, against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge.
Interesting.
Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
That's his personal log. Not like interviewing him here or anything. Press the button. Great. What are you floating up there for, man? Take him over! I was trying to possess him! Oops. Okay, the lights are on. Don't know what this one does then. Alright, we're in the operations center. There was a similar place to this in the research department, I think. Or in containment, I'm not sure which. An interrogation complaints. Kirkland. So, you put me on desk duty just because I did the thing I was fucking hired to do, my job. I want to know what I call that? Bullshit is what? Asking us to interrogate these scum without using words like altered items or AWEs or paracriminal is the stupidest thing I've heard in my life, and I've heard some fucking stupid things. They already know the facts. Hell, they know just as much as us, if not more, and they get to sit there laughing at us while we dance around our words, trying not to leak classified terminology. They already know the fucking terminology. You think pulling me off the case will stop me? Then think again. That piece of shit blew up those tracks. He killed those people, all to make a train turn altered. We have him dead to rights, and you need to let me back in that interrogation cell so I can get him to flip on his buddies. These people are terrorists and deserve to be treated as such. This won't stop unless we stop them. You can go ahead and put me on suspension, see if that slows me down. Agent Hewitt. Bit of a hothead is Agent Hewitt there. Annoyed by the bureaucracy, it seems. Oh, hello.
Reminder.
Sorry.
Reminder.
There we go.
All employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective, and hours passed on alternative planes cannot be claimed. Astral drives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
Time travel does not count towards your overtime pay. Dear me. Data chart, data info. Released articles, Masal, Leo, Anlin, Sebastian, Jenna. Oh, hello.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel.
Interesting.
Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors. Motion detectors in the lobby area. Tripwire, triggering a flash camera across the main entrance. Even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best. But mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how exactly. I think this place is making fun of me. That's the only explanation. I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this. Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate. Okay, there we go.
though?
Alright. That was faint, but I definitely heard movement coming from the hallway. I think I might have finally caught one. Ha! The recording better work this time, or I swear to God, I'll... What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
So that might be this terrorist group using the motel to navigate just like we do. Interesting. The black market. Official findings report, illegal altered item market. A black market hub specializing in the trade of occult talismans, relics and other assorted ceremonial objects. As well, genuine altered and paranatural materials was raided in a redacted location in the Czech Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all of the participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. A, there's a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of the general public. B, these criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating, if done in populated areas. And C, the motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. Refer to this file for the full report. We never get the full report, man. NASA cooperation review. Interagency cooperation decision with NASA. Following that NASA FBC coordination agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is made available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised the concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the Redacted far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivery of black rock. From its medium Earth orbit, the Redacted will provide the Bureau with an unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of this committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. Sounds perfectly understandable. I think there's a... Oh, it's on this floor. Another control point. Sure. Okay, the video's got too long. Good job, Matt. Artie. Fair enough. Another fine mess.
They are full of old shit. It's not cool for you. Headache, nausea, moodland, depression, darkness everywhere. New day, same old bloody city. The old way. Like dark but good for nothing. Get rid of it.
Alright, don't make me do fetch quests, Artie. Don't appreciate it. One bit. Yeah, so this is all fine mess stuff here, because it said we did one of them. Astral constructs. Construct surge. Surge fires adhesive munitions that detonate when manually triggered or if their timer expires. A new weapon. Cool. Can't upgrade it just yet. We need materials specifically from the DLC, I think. Might upgrade spin and just try the other weapons for a bit. Yeah, so instead of the grip, we'll have spin. So spin grouping efficiency. A slightly better one. Ammo cost while levitating. Headshots. Yep, rate of fire. Ammo refund chance and ammo cost. Just stack the rate of fire. Sure. And instead of charge, we'll try this new surge. Increase accuracy. Oh god, look at that. Don't respawn, man. So it's like a sticky bomb. Place multiple grenades. So if I went... and then triggered them after I've let go of the aim. But if I press trigger while aiming, that's pretty awesome, man. Oops. It's still very inaccurate, isn't it? But we can unload the clip insanely fast. Look at that. Smoking gun. Alright guys, we'll leave the video there. We've made a start to the Alan Wake DLC. Lots of interesting lore. We've done a lot of reading, which was all very fascinating. It's just been kind of bottlenecked a little bit at the beginning here. Investigations is an interesting department. Sort of came at loggerheads with Trench, with this head of investigations who ended up quitting his job in protest. It'd be interesting to learn what happened to him after he left, whether he ended up dead or something like that. Because you get the feeling that if you leave this place in like controversial circumstances, you know, bad things would probably happen to you. But we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a thumbs up if you did. Just remember, everyone, never trust. And on crate. I'll see you next time.